Hi, I watched Lie on Me and here's my review. Taekyung is a high school student who's kind of a loner because he never had any friends. One day, thanks to the advice of a very nice teacher, he decides that he actually wants to try making friends, see what it does to have friends. Following his advice, he tries to enter the student council for its nice members. Finally, the good quality BL drama we were waiting for. Oh, wow. Even just the first few minutes, you can already see that this drama probably had more budget than some other Korean BL drama had. First, the length. It's more than 8 episodes of 15 minutes. Incredible. Incredible. And the production is really nice too. When you watch it, you really feel like you're actually watching a Korean drama. Also, the actors are really good. All of them. I really have nothing to say. They really did all a good job, even though most of them are pretty new. The actor who played the main character actually guests in a lot of things, but very rarely had a main role. So it's really nice. Honestly, production quality and everything, I have nothing to say. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I'm very glad. So glad. Also, I feel like this drama is really trying at the same time as making a romance of sharing a very positive message about a lot of different things. For example, we have the idea of accepting yourself for who you are and being able to be yourself and not change for other people, to not care about what other people think, to live your life the way you want to live it. The importance of honesty as well, because it's actually a very important theme in this drama that actually touches the plot a lot. So yeah, the importance of honesty. Also friendship, of course, since our main character has always been a loner and wants to make friends for the first time in his life. So the importance of having friends, and also, and it's not, I think, the most important message, and it goes with being able to do what you want and being yourself without caring about what others think. But this time it's clearly directed to the people who criticizes and who judges people based on what they do or what they prefer, because they also have a moment where they address 2 people bad-mouthing 2 guys for holding hands. And they make a comment at this moment about how it's not their problem. It's these 2 people's love life, how it's not going to affect them in any way at all in their life. And I really liked this little commentary as well in the drama. So yeah, this drama really tries to give a lot of positive messages, and I really like that because I don't think it's done in a very generic way. Actually, I think it's done pretty well in a, I'm not going to say in a subtle way, but it's not in your face all the time either. So I think that was pretty well done. However, overall, for the whole drama with the plot, I gave it 9 out of 10. So, when I started the drama, I was really hooked in the first 3 episodes because of the quality, because of the plot. I actually liked the plot a lot. I was really into it. Then, well, something I don't like happened, and it's a love triangle. Unfortunately, and it's very personal, some people might like it, and it's okay if you do. But for me, I just really don't like love triangles at all. It really, I don't like it. So at some point it became a bit difficult for me in the story because, yeah, but I'm going to go in a spoil part right now to talk a bit more about it because I have a few things to say. So first, to continue on the love triangle, it really became a pain for me at some point because I really wasn't sure who Taekyung was going to end up with. So some people will say, and I know some did, that it's a love triangle done right, and yeah, I would actually agree that if I liked it, I think it would be well done. It's not the kind of triangle where you know this person isn't going to get the guy or the girl. I had this feeling that it was going to end up with Shinu because, yeah, it's the second actor listed on the web pages, so yeah, and on the poster they are both in the middle. So I had a feeling it was going to be him, but at some point I really started to doubt, and since I was all the way in for Shinu, sometimes the drama was so frustrating you can't even imagine. But I'm glad he ends up with Shinu at least, because I think my rating would have gone down a bit. Because yeah, even if the production is great and everything, I have to like the story as well, right? So, thank you for finishing with Shinu. Also, when you think about it, I actually like it because it feels like Shinu is kind of actually the secondary character. I don't know if any of you noticed it, but he has all the traits of a secondary character, but getting the girl or the guy this time. Because imagine a secondary character. Usually a secondary character has been liking this person for a while, but he never dared to approach this person or just confess his feelings, right? So this is Shinu as well. And then the main character enters the story and he gets to know that this person likes the person, so he kind of backs off. Then when things start to get rough, he decides to step up and actually try to win the love of the main character. And that is Shinu as well. And in the end, he gets the main character. Because usually after that, the main character is all sad because something happened with the other main character. So they are left all sad and everything. And then the secondary character comes in and, you know, comforts the person and stay there for them, be there for them all the time. And usually once things get better with the main character, the two main characters get together and the secondary character just loses everything. But in this case, Shinu was there for Taehyung when he was all sad, he was there to be a friend for him, he was there to comfort him, to do everything for him, to make him feel better, and he ends up with him. So he's kind of actually the secondary character, while being a main character, if this makes sense. But yeah, I truly liked that it did that. That being said, much time with Taehyung and Gaon, we actually didn't get, I think, enough development between Taehyung and Shinu, especially on Taehyung's part, because we get to see a bit of Shinu, how he had noticed him for a while, how he actually wanted to become friends with him a while ago, but he kind of chickened out because Taehyung was really not in the mood for friends at that moment. So at the end, when Taehyung decides to start dating Shinu, it kind of feels rushed, because sure, he started getting real affection for Shinu during that time, but it also felt like he hadn't completely moved on from Gaon, so it was a bit weird to see him actually not go to Gaon, because sometimes he would still look at him in a way that's... So you still love him. My poor heart, it was so frustrating for me to watch, since I was Team Shinu from the very beginning. I mean, Gaon is nice, he's really nice, right? And it's just that he couldn't be true and sincere and honest about his feelings. He couldn't bear the look and the judgment of other people. It's not really his fault, right? But still, I prefer Shinu. So it's all good for me, but I can imagine some people maybe actually preferring Gaon and being upset because Taehyung didn't end up with him. His friend, the other member in the council, with his name is... I forgot. He was really an excellent character too, and very good actor too as well. He was always so funny and always kind of so energetic, but also able to be serious when time called for being serious, you know. It was a really good addition to the characters and the council. Her character was, at first I was going to say, very typical of a BL, you know, the nasty girl, the girl who's always upset and you want to smack her, you know. But I liked what they did with her in the end, that she actually understood. She didn't apologize just because she felt like it was what she had to do. She did it because she really had thought about it. She had really reflected on what she had done and decided to apologize and make things good. So I'm actually very glad this happened, because it's not really that she was mean or anything, you know. She could be very cute in her own way, but yeah, her nastiness sometimes was a bit too much. And the teacher also, that I actually really liked. He was such a nice dude, you know. He's not the kind of teacher who becomes teacher just, you know, to follow everything by the book, and is really like a teacher who wants to help students, even outside of school, you know, give them good lessons to learn from and try to help with advices and everything. So he's such a cool teacher, and I think they realize it too, since they always get advice from him, and they even make a party for him for his birthday, and he was just so happy. This moment was actually so sweet. He was kind of so naive and so happy that his student had done this for him. It was like his life goal in some sense when you saw it, so it was really pure. But actually after that, he comes out and he seems to meet someone who I think is like a lover or an ex-lover, or that's only what I can guess, but it doesn't go farther than that, so I don't know if it's normal or if they plan something else. I don't know, but it's never revealed, so... And finally, the last little thing I want to finish on is the kiss scene. I think I was not the only one, but for a moment I thought there was not going to be a kiss scene on this drama. And it wouldn't be a bad thing, per se, you know, it wouldn't be a bad thing. But I feel like a romance, you need at least a kiss, a hug and a kiss. You need that, at least. At least for me, it's a must. So I'm very glad we ended up getting one. For the kiss in itself, well... Oh my gosh. Okay. Shinu went in completely. I mean, the actor was really doing his job well, right? Wow. I saw so many gifs of this moment when I wanted to find a gif from the drama, and so many gifs of this moment popped up. So really, whew, the guy can kiss. However, on Taeyong's sides, well, he was kind of a wooden plank, you know. So it was a bit weird to see the kiss with the contrast, with Shinu going all in and Taeyong being like a statue. And it's a bit sad, you know, because I don't like a wooden girl either when I watch an heterosexual drama. And I say a girl because it's rarely the opposite. Yeah, so the kiss was like 50-50, right? But it's okay, at least we got a kiss. I'm not going to complain about that, but I just wanted to mention it because, yeah, since how many gifs I saw of this moment, I think I was not the only one who was shaken up by Shinu, right? Wow. Anyway, I think I said everything I wanted to say about this drama. I feel like I don't have much to say, but actually it was such a very, very good drama. For me, like I said, it was a bit frustrating and I couldn't give it a 10 out of 10 just because the general plot, love triangle, isn't my thing at all. But really, props to this drama, these actors and everyone who worked on this drama. Hopefully more productions can kind of take example of this drama. Of course, it's not just of their power, you know, they need to get the money and it's BL, so it must be difficult in Korea to get funds for such a drama. But maybe this will bring a new era, maybe, we can hope. So yeah, I absolutely recommend this drama if you usually don't really watch Korean dramas, BLs at least, because of the quality and everything, then I absolutely recommend this one. You're not going to be disappointed, except if maybe you don't like love triangles. But yeah, on this, don't hesitate to tell me your thoughts on this drama as well. I would gladly like to know what were your opinion on this drama. And on this, I'm going to leave you and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye bye!